Yes, once again, I have to thank you all for bearing with us during our time of issuing our message because of the technical difficulties. Sometimes I ask myself many questions. If there's music, dancing, anything further, no problem. When you're trying to deliver the truth, a message that may cleanse the soul and open up the mind of people, you always find yourself in difficult position and whatever. But nevertheless, we are determined to do what we have to do. Once again, let it be known that we will do what is necessary, regardless of all the accidents that we are going through. Like I was saying before, the world as it is today is going through something that we cannot understand. And we cannot be the judge of it. But many great leaders and empires fall because of the doings of corrupt politicians and the wrong preaching of priests who back them. But sometimes I still believe that God have a way of doing things. Things that you and I may not see or understand. But today we are living to see how the world changes before our eyes. Today in the United States of America, President Donald J. Trump was given a mandate from the voters to do what he told them he's supposed to do. And yet, so far, he stands up to it. Things like getting rid of the illegals into the country. Millions came in this country, we don't know who they are. Many are criminals. And yes, too many crimes are being committed by them. My argument is plain and simple. When someone opens up the doors to you, you should learn to respect that. As you might be aware, in the Middle East, the story between Israel and Palestine dated back from 1947. And before we go to 1947, one must not forget the historical war in World War II with a man by the name of Adolf Hitler that created the problem for the Jewish brothers and sisters at the time of Germany, Poland, Czechoslovakia, wherever the German military went. We heard the story of 6 million Jews, those gas children. And yes, our heart goes out for that. But we cannot hear the story of the millions of others who lost their life fighting the Germans at the time. Seems like they didn't exist. But history have a nice way of putting it. Our Jewish brothers and sisters would have been in Guyana in 1947, thanks to the British and the Americans who should take them to Palestine. Today, religious people and historians are saying it belongs to the Jews, Israel, Palestine, and all of that. But sometimes I ask many questions, but the historian may have a different opinion. And not everything that you read you should believe, because it's his story, not history. But nevertheless, we live in a time that we must go beyond the history. Today is modern time. With a cell phone, you could go to any part of the world and talk to people. The only difference of us is languages, culture, nationality. But many people in the United States of America and a part of the world is blaming Donald J. Trump for the rapid way of things are taking place in America since he becomes the 47th president again in his land. According to information, it's alleged Brother Obama presidency have deported a lot of people, but they do it diplomatically. If it had done, as I said, it's alleged. Because they didn't talk, but they act according to Romans and people who study it. And I always like to use the word alliance. In these days of time and age, you do not know the truth. But many West Indians, Jamaicans, and others was reported. Many claim that they were selling marijuana. Today, marijuana is legalized in the country of the US. Personally, since knowing that if these things happens to be true, that those who was reported selling marijuana, it will be the case, should be allowed to enter the shore of America since knowing it become legalized, because this is a new frontier. They have opened up the eyes to the country if it is legal. But killing is not legal unless you're into war. Raping is not legal. And therefore, I would support any country to put on criminals like that. But, ladies and gentlemen, I will say 80% of the people that is coming to Europe, America, and elsewhere through the border, somewhere or the other been hurt like a golden master. England, France, and others, Belgium, and others. Check Africa, which is the name today. The continent. The European leadership has overthrown many governments, and according to information, it's alleged the American government. But again, let it be known, if you burn a man's house and he's close to yours, when do you expect him to stay? In the rubble? Or you gotta come to yours? And when you open up your door to help people and they're bulldozing your house, shooting at you, killing you in your temple, annihilating you, and you fight back, you're branded as terrorists. You're branded as guerrillas. You're branded as so many things. But then you ask yourself, who's right and who's wrong? And what is right and what is wrong? Take Adolf Hitler. We all know the man for World War II. Mussolini, Stalin, Ho Chi Minh, and many others. And yes, we paint them with a brush and even call them the devil's angel. But one have to ask what turned an individual to become so criminal-minded and revengeful. We find them as terrorists. We call people everything. But we who commit crime is called freedom fighters. Who's the one that makes the judgment? And when we burn the man's house and he enters into ours, we call him alien. We insult them, ridicule them, criticize them. But they're only human like us with different languages and culture. Then if they're black, we say they're black. If they're European, we say they're white. Friends, we in the modern generation of the 24th century will have to come up with this. The younger generation have to turn a new page. We must not deal with against our brothers and sisters as a black man, a black woman, a white man, a white woman. Then wave the green, the purple, the blue, and the yellow, and others. Does not they exist? There's an old saying, if you go to the graveyard and interfere with the dead, the ghost will follow. The ghost will follow. Sometimes I call this just a storytelling. But I travel this world length and breadth, and I see what happened. Which takes me back to a country called Guyana, Georgetown, Guyana, where I born. And I'm the descendant of African blood, Indian blood, Portuguese, and others. I make many jokes at times that my great-grandmother, maybe they were prostitute, living in an institute. But then again, they could have been into marriage. Things could have happened. But I am here. Did I ask to be here? Of course not. When I look and see what is happening in Guyana today, And I heard my black friends and relatives use these words. Look what the Queen are doing to the country. It sounds very nice and you pity them when they say that. But if you were living in the time, you have to look at them and wonder, are they for real? Were they there when these blacks was ruling that country under Burnham? Did they see that country with 200-something thousand blacks? 90-something% of the civil servant was all blacks? Did they see the insult and ridicule the Indians, East Indian descendants went through? Not forgetting the Amerindian. But we heard the white man's slaves. We heard he bring our ancestors from Africa and serve them. But we know better and we do worse in modern time. Ladies and gentlemen, the white man did not kidnap your ancestors. It was our relative who sold the other relative to them and called them undesirable. Today, Africa is free. You in the Caribbean and elsewhere talk about emancipation. Emancipation means freedom, then go back to Africa. But you stay in country don't belong to you, that belong to the Arawak Indian, or the people, or Amerindian, or indigenous people, ruled by two dangerous people. The African descendant is an apartheid in Guyana, and also the Indian descendant, which are also apartheid. So the blacks talk about emancipation, but not going back to Africa. The Indian come, but they have arrival, but do not want to go back to India. But where will you go? When there are 9 tribes in Africa, like the 9 tribes of the Amerindian in Guyana, Latin and South America, and the East Indian is caste system, and there's a religious problem between the East Indian. If you are a Muslim, you are not accepted in India. According to the present Prime Minister, who just went to Guyana, and other hypocrites. You could divide India into Pakistan. You could also have Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. But yet, you born in Trinidad, Guyana, St. Lucia, Suriname, and others, but still call yourself Indians. And you, the blacks, calling yourself Africans. Friends, let's get off of that. We are in the world. The Europeans conquered this area, as Christopher Columbus stated in 1492. He discovered a new land, a new world, but there were people on it before. But let's give him what he says. Due to that, we are all here from Africa, China, Portugal, England, France, Holland, Belgium. But why I never heard the Irish talk about slavery when there were slaves in the Americas? Only my black brothers and sisters. We were slaves. Don't take it from me. Y'all give up the Bible, don't touch it. Because if God allowed his great grandchildren that he created, and brothers sell brothers, and then they were slaves, and God didn't put an end to it. And who were them? And then you come back and tell me, as your black brothers and sisters again, Jesus was black. Adam and Eve was black. And if Adam and Eve was black, is our great-grandparents. And our great-grandmother didn't listen to God. How the hell will she listen to our father? And if our brother Cain get jealous because of the Bible, that he gave God the most valuable lamb in his flock, according to the Bible, and Abel gave the best fruits because he was a farmer, if I get it right, and he killed his brother because God accepted his brother and didn't accept his, and he jealous and killed his brother. So that means my black brothers, our brothers, sisters, whoever, was killing each other from generation to generation. Then you tell me Jesus was black. The European wasn't there, friends. The Chinese wasn't there. The East Indian wasn't there. Now the Amerindian wasn't there. Who put him on the cross? I want you answer. And who was Pharaoh? Was he a European, a white man, or an Estonian? Or was he a Mongolian? Come on, you told me Moses was black. Who he crossed the Red Sea with, and who he told the commandment in their face. Tell me. So if we were really created in the world, and we came from that generation, we didn't listen to God. We didn't listen to one another, and we killed with brothers. Then today, we are condemning another person who bring us out of the jungle. Educate us, we are doctors, scientists, pilots, restitution making millions and billions, and instead we take care of our mothers and sisters, we want to sue every one of the sisters and don't take care of responsibility. Is that fair? We got 4 more to go. Even now in Africa, many of them have 5, 6 wives. And if you're a Muslim living in Saudi Arabia, same thing. The land of Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him. And also in Israel, the land of Jesus, and these 2 places have more problem than any other part of the world. Today, my black brothers in Africa and India and East Indian, the European is not in Africa, why y'all cannot unite and help each other? Stop buying the guns and the bombs to kill your brothers. There's an African country with a leader who was a general and still is. And I think it's a French country who give his people bulldozers, tractors, solar to take care of it to make the tomato plantation. Friends, let's come out of this and start to unite and make this world a better place for the next generation. If Donald J. Trump was elected by the hands of the American people to do what is right, it is the duty of him to carry out what he promised. But God will decide, not you and not me. But from Mexico to Argentina, this is a great opportunity for you all also to unite. And Guyana, the Amerindian is living still in the jungle. Mr. Ali was in the UN, and I see what he says, that the Amerindian getting 15% because of the carbon thing concerning the jungle. 9 tribes getting 15%, and while the others get 85%. Also, the Amerindian got to buy land from Indian and black people in Guyana. You hypocrites. And you all holding the Holy Quran, the Bible. And I don't want you to remind because the book already tell you the mind raw is not mature. Not to insult is the name of the book. And the other one called the Vedas. Friends, why are we killing one another over land? We claim in Africa and India, but we ain't going back. And if you're a Muslim, you can't live in India. And if you're a Hindu, Mr. Bajagli, you can't live in Pakistan. I hope you understand. Or you will end up that you think they're born and built called the Pakistan. You might be on your stand. So wake up. Guyana belongs to the indigenous people. And all 9 tribes should get 5% out of the jungle and the oil and the gold and the diamond. If you're a man of God and you're holding the Holy Quran, I hope you don't catch a fire in your hand. I am not against you. And the blacks are complaining what you're doing, and they have a right. But you were complaining and running from Venezuela. All over the India was running Suriname, Trinidad. All over until the late Walter Rodney arrived to bridge the racial tension. A black historian and was killed by Burnham and supported by Jenny Jagan, an Indian. You do not like it, but nothing lasts forever. And for you, the police who making fictitious charge, locking up people, judge and magistrate, taking Indian people money to do it, the days are bitch on the face of this earth. And with that, a generation shall crawl on this earth for the sins you have committed against innocent people, black, white, or grey, or yellow. We are in America, Canada, elsewhere, and be humiliated by the great-grandchildren of slavery, and also some uneducated Europeans. What are we doing in their country? But they forget they were the one who destroyed ours. I think Trump is doing the right thing. You who's out of here with oil, gold, diamond, bauxite, lumber, and any other resources should show America Guyana is willing to open up the door to take a lot of them who they send it back to different countries and to develop the country and give humanity a chance. If you believe in Allah, Ali, and all of you Norton, call upon the American government to send the people to Guyana with the help of the world to build place for them, but make the law. Anyone thief must be executed. Anyone rape must be executed. Which means if you are no thief, you ain't got to worry. Let me come to an end to this at this present moment. And leave the rest of tomorrow. But long live Donald Trump, let him do what he has to do. That's what he promised, and that is what he's doing. Good luck to the man.